Hey, what's going on YouTube? Alabama Reloader here. So the unveil has arrived. The reveal, if you will. Kind of rhymed, but you know, whatever. So this is the newest 270 Winchester to grace the channel. I've had 3 other 270 Winchesters so far this year. All 3 are gone, but I'm gonna have a hard time departing with this one. This one might hang around for quite a while. It is a Browning X-Bolt medallion, okay? And this thing is sharp. I am really liking this rifle and how nice this thing is. Picked it up, it's used, so no clue on the round count through the rifle. I have a high level of confidence it's not too many. I would say it's probably very few rounds were actually fired through the rifle. It is in excellent overall condition. I believe maybe it's a 22-inch barrel. Not 100% sure on that, but on the X-Bolt medallion, you know, really nice wood, sort of a gloss finish there, and then on the medallion, kind of what really makes it different is like this this engraving. Yeah, there you go. Or laser etching really is probably what it is. That's probably what I should actually refer to it as. Whatever, some type of engraving slash etching that I would imagine is just done by a machine, not done by hand. But that is the medallion package. Really, really nice. I'm looking forward to testing this thing out. I got it in, basically followed my same process that I follow. I just showed you guys. Go back and watch the video where I was talking about how to find the lands in your rifle. I just posted that video. As of, let's see, today is September 12th, 2025. Posted that video maybe a couple weeks back, week and a half ago, something like that. So just go back and find it. And I walked through the process of how to find the lands, or the touch point, right? Essentially the touch point in your rifle with whatever bullet that you're trying to work up a load for, right? Or work up a load with. So I'll be using this guy. This is a Hornady overall length gauge. I'll put on the 270 Winchester modified case. This is a Hornady modified case. The bullet that I'm gonna go with, so I dropped another video talking about, just kind of giving an update on where I was at with 270 Winchester. And I did refer to having a new rifle chambered in that cartridge, but I didn't tell what it was on that video, so I saved that for this video. I did ask though, sort of, what is the path that I should go down in terms of the initial testing that I do? Was it pick a powder and load up a bunch of different bullets and see what this thing likes in terms of just kind of like I guess a relatively known good powder for 270 Winchester, and then pick a bunch of different bullets and then go shoot it, or narrow it down and use one bullet and test multiple powders? Well, I went with the latter because you can see I have multiple powders sitting out here on the kitchen island. The bullet that I chose was this 140 grain Sierra Game King. It's the Hollow Point Game King. These are pulled bullets. I got these from AmericanReloading.com, and they call these the 140 grain like Hunter Marksman or something like that on their website. But it is in fact a 140 grain Sierra Game King Hollow Point boat tail version. I believe it was 500 of them a while back. I've done some testing with these bullets already in the other 270 Winchesters that I've had. And so I just wanted to sort of, you know, test it in this one, right? Might as well. A couple of powders I've tested this bullet with, I no longer have. And that was kind of part of the testing I had done originally with those other rifles, is I just kind of had some powder laying around that I wanted to burn up. I didn't really have enough to even do like thorough load development with it. So I just kind of burned up some of that powder testing these guys in other rifles, and they actually shot really, really well. So I think this will be a really good hunting option for me this upcoming deer season. That's the plan as far as the bullet goes. The brass that I'm using, this is the Sig Sauer. This stuff was the primed brass that, again, AmericanReloading.com sells. All of this has been once fired and then then it went through my normal brass prep process, which is just decap everything, wet tumble, and then dry it in the oven for 3 or 4 hours. Go back, resize it, put a chamfer and deburr on the case mouth, run a brush up into the neck, make sure the primer pockets are clean, which they were after doing the wet tumble, so I didn't even have to fool with running those over a primer pocket cleaning tool on my brass prep station. So that's what I did to the brass. I used a Lee full-length sizing die to do all of the resizing on this, and I'm pushing the shoulders back. For those of you that love this type of information, I'm pushing the shoulders back like 1.5 thou. So it's very, very minimal. 1.5, 2 thou on, is what I'm pushing my shoulders back on this stuff. Chamber's no problem. It functions without issue. That setting on that Lee die has not changed throughout the multiple 270 Winchester rifles that I have owned. I've used that setting the entire time when I've reloaded for all of them, and it's worked for all of them. So it's been a really good setting on that die. The primers that I'm gonna use are the CCI 200 large rifle primers. I don't know, I was a little torn between these, or I've got some Federals. Yeah, I have just the standard Federal. I have the Federal gold medal match. I've got these. I have some Winchester large rifle primers. I have some Remington large rifle primers. So I was a little torn on which one to go with. I just settled on CCI 200s. I think I have the most of these out of any of those primers, so might as well just stick with that. And then of course you can see the powder line up along the back here. In no particular order, as far as like, oh, I'm gonna give you the order of burn rate. That's not what I'm doing, but gonna test out some Vitavori N560, really good stuff. Some Midwest Powders MP620. That is a Reloader 19 equivalent powder, for those of you that are interested in kind of the data that I'll be using for that. Midwest Powders MP689-1. This is an IMR 7828 Super Shortcut equivalent powder, so same thing, I'll be using that load data for this powder. And then this is MP590-1. This is a Reloader 17 equivalent powder, so again, be using that for that data. And of course H4350. This is kind of like I don't want to call it a gold standard, but it seems to be a powder that a lot of people recommend in 270 Winchester. So I'm going to use H4350, and then Stay Ball 6.5. I almost threw my 8-pound jug of Hodgdon Superformance up here. I almost went with that. I've had really, really good luck using Superformance in 270 Winchester, but it's mostly been with monolithic bullets. So like the Barnes, like the 129 grain LRX, the 130 TSX, the 130 TSX. I believe I've had good luck with the Meguiar Ballistics, the 128 grain Copper Rose hollow point bullet with Superformance. It's been a really, really good performer for me, but when I was looking for load data, there really isn't much load data to speak of with like traditionally constructed cup and core style bullets. That Superformance load data, it's kind of, but what I could find was mostly, it was all just sort of related to Barnes bullets, and I just want to stick with this bullet for now. We might switch over, start shooting some monolithics before too long. But when I was looking up load data on Hodgdon's website, they had this stuff listed with a couple of different 140 grain weight bullets. It's not the Sierra Game King, but it's a good enough starting point where I feel comfortable with the load data that I chose. So that's the lineup that I went with. Let's see. You can see the charge weights I went ahead and selected. I've got 19, I'm gonna do 19 3-shot groups, so I had to kind of divvy this up a little weird. Not weird, but 5 of the powders, they'll have 3-shot groups, and then 1 powder will have 4 3-shot groups. So yeah, they'll have 3 3-shot groups on these 5 powders, and then 4 3-shot groups on Stay Ball 6.5. That's how I'm gonna do it. I am gonna be making some large jumps, just 1 grain increment. Again, with 3-shot groups, this should give me a really good idea and tell me everything I need to know pretty much within reason on whether or not this bullet and powder, a particular bullet powder combination is gonna work well in this rifle. We're casting a really wide net, different powders, using the same bullet, you know, varying charge weights. If it doesn't shoot any of it, we're gonna be in trouble. Is kind of the way I'm looking at it. So I'm really hoping this thing shoots as good as it looks, because it looks absolutely amazing, and I'm really excited to get out to the range and shoot it. But that's sort of the bullet powder combination that I'm gonna go with. The scope that I ended up putting on here, I had some Tally 1-inch tube scope rings, some Tally lightweight base and ring combination, whatever. I had some of those. And so what I ended up putting on here was an SWFA. This is my ultralight, the 2.5 to 10 scope. Now what I would love to put on there would be something like that Leupold VX3, I think it's a VX3 HD, the 2.5 to 8. I believe it's 2.5 to 8 by 36 that I have. I've got that on my 30 Thompson Center. It looks incredible on a sort of more traditional hunting style rifle, like on a woodstock rifle. It looks incredible on that 30 Thompson Center, and it's already dialed in and zeroed and ready to go for a couple of different types of ammo. And I really don't want a couple different hand loads, and I really don't want to mess that up and move that scope off, but I really feel like that would probably look the best on this rifle, just in my opinion. So I would love to pick another one of those up at some point in time, but them things ain't cheap. So I got the first one I bought. I got a really, really good deal on it. But for now, it's gonna be the SWFA 2.5 to 10. I believe this is a 2.5 to 10 by 32, I think. Could be wrong, but I think that's what that is. Which will be good to do the testing with. It has a really thin reticle. It's a duplex reticle, but it's a really thin reticle, so we should be able to hold it fairly tightly on the target at 100 yards and then get the testing going. So that's it. That's the reveal. That's the unveiling of the new 270 Winchester. I know some of the guys, they commented on the video, they're like, man, you know, can't wait to see what it is, looking forward to it. So it is another Browning, right? Remember, one of the 270s I've owned already was a Browning X-Bolt Max long range with the fast twist barrel. It was the 1 in 7.5 twist barrel. This one, I believe, has just a standard 1 in 10. I didn't even bother checking, and it's not stamped on the barrel like it was on that other Browning that I had. So I'm pretty sure this is a 1 in 10. If you guys know differently, please just comment down below, let me know whether or not it's a 1 in 10 or something different. But I believe that's what it is. Like I said, I think it's a 22-inch barrel. I'll measure that just to be on the safe side and double check. 22 or maybe 24, but probably 22-inch barrel, which would be fine. On these 140s, I'm not trying to, you know, push it to insane velocities. Again, at the distances that I hunt and shoot, I just need something that's gonna get the job done on deer, on whitetail deer here in Alabama, and this will get the job done. So we're back in the 270 Winchester game, so everyone rejoice, right? Oh, yay, back to 270 Winchester, which again, probably my favorite cartridge of all time. You guys know that if you've been around the channel for any length of time. So that's the rifle, powder, bullet that we're gonna test. Now let's, I gotta do a whole lot of dumping powder and seating bullets and all of that fun stuff, and then hit the range. So we're gonna cut the video here. This will be the end of this particular video. And then when I post another video, a follow-on, it'll be the results. I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna do this, because I doubt I'll be able to get all of the shooting done in one range session. So I might just break it up and do like a couple of the powders and then come back, maybe do 3 and 3, right? That might be what I do. I might do 3 powders, right? Do half of the results on one video, the other half on the other video. I may do it that way. So I'm kind of talking myself into it already. But that's it. That's where we're going to leave it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget, if you're interested in a hat, purchasing an Alabama Reloader hat, go to the website, alabamareloader.com. Check that out. Also, if you're interested in using North Fork bullets, they're premium bonded hunting bullets, and they are amazing and they shoot really well. I'm looking forward to using those this upcoming hunting season on some deer. And if you're interested in that, I'm an affiliate of that company. Again, go to alabamareloader.com. There's an affiliate link. You click on that link. If you make a purchase while you're on their website, portion of that comes back to the channel, just kind of helps out, right, with stuff like this. So that's it. That's where we're going to leave it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll catch you next time. Y'all have a good one.